Hey guys, it's Becky here and welcome back to my YouTube channel if you are watching and listening to this on YouTube, and welcome back to Becky's Bants, Tea and Talk episode 13 if you're listening on your favourite podcast platform. Apologies that there was no podcast last week, but that was completely out of my control. Technology was against me, nothing was working, nothing was happening. However, I did manage to upload a vlog on my YouTube, so hopefully you'll have seen that because that ties in nicely with today's episode. So grab yourself your favourite beverage and let's get to it. So as always, I have my favourite trusty mug with a green tea because I'm just a creature of habit, and for someone who does love tea, I do tend to just stick to the same teas at the moment, so I need to kind of freshen things up a little bit, try some different teas. So if you can recommend some new herbal teas, do let me know, especially if it's kind of green tea. I'm not a fan of green tea and lemon, I find that quite bitter. I do love green tea and jasmine, that is my favourite. But yeah, if there's any other green tea combination that you guys can, let me know about, then do hit the comments below or drop me a message or whatever. I've just noticed I've scratched myself. How did I do that? I have no idea. Anyway, I'm digressing. So today's podcast episode is all about relaxation and new and interesting ways that I have found to relax in this crazy world that we are living in right now, and a little insight into the kind of things I've been experiencing in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, you'll all know that I kind of deal with anxiety, as most people do nowadays, and everyone has their set levels of anxiety or ways of coping and dealing with it. And mine's been very interesting the last couple of weeks, and as well as lots of hormone changes going on, I've had to try and find new ways of not combating it, but accepting it and dealing with it. Because some of my old techniques were just not working, unfortunately. So I've been having to try and find new ways of managing it. So as well as having just general anxiety about the world, about this and that, I've also had a lot of homesickness. And I haven't been home for over a year now, which is the longest I haven't been home. For those of you who don't know, I am originally from the Isle of Man, and I kind of still class that as home because the majority of my family live there. And I mean, that's a whole nother episode, I feel, about how you can distinguish where home is and how you know where your home is. That's for another episode, we'll get to that. But yeah, I still have very strong ties with the island, and I manage, I cope, because I normally get to go home every 3 months or so. So normally I get home, I can check in with the family, spend time with some of my friends, and then I'm back and raring to go. But not having had that for the year has been tough, and I've realised that is something I consistently need in my life. I need to go home, I need to get back to my roots, I need to touch base. And for me, going back home is a way of recharging, checking in with myself, being away from all my normal everyday routines and activities and those people that I see every day. As much as I love them, I do need that space and that alone time. So for me, I need that, and I haven't realised how much I've needed it until now. And yeah, so I've been trying to find new and interesting ways to kind of get grounded, touch base, just relax. So I just wanted to share some of those with you. So this is kind of a nice uplifting podcast. It's not as deep as some of the other stuff that I get into, but I feel like the time is right. And I'm wearing all yellow today. So, I'm bringing you a nice positive colour as well as a really nice positive subject to talk about. Okay, let's get to it. So if you will have watched my latest vlog, you'll know that I purchased some CBD tea. There is banging going on. I can't control that. I don't know where it's coming from, so I apologise. Anyway, going back to the tea, yes, I purchased some CBD tea. So I've been heavily into CBD products for, I want to say, the past good couple of months now. I'm still researching into it and the benefits of it and making sure it's all safe and that kind of stuff. And I use a lot of CBD in for my muscles and for sleeping. So I know I have a great CBD range, which Sanctuary, who are owned by Boots, they have some CBD infused sleep products which I've been using, which are absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend them. And I've also been using CBD muscle rub as well. For those of you who follow me on my social media, I keep getting really weird trapped nerves or trapped muscles in my shoulders. And I feel like it is due to sitting down more often than not at the moment. So I've been heavily relying on the CBD muscle rub, which actually smells the same as DP, but it kind of smells nicer. But I've been swearing by those. So I thought, hey, let's try tea. I love tea. Let's give it a go. So I bought some Dr. Greenlove's CBD tea. And I was very dubious as to how I was going to feel when I was drinking it. Read a lot of really good reviews. A lot of people saying they felt a lot more relaxed before bedtime, in a better, mental state. Their breathing had relaxed, all of this. I was like, yes, let's get some of this, especially to help with sleeping, because as I've been telling you, I haven't been sleeping that great either. So I was like, yeah, it's a win-win situation here. So I bought some. I tried it, and if you want to see my full reaction, you can go over to my YouTube channel and have a watch. But I have found it really beneficial. I've been drinking it mainly at night time. I haven't tried it during the day yet because I still have a lot to do during the day and I don't want to get too relaxed that I just don't want to do anything. So I've been having it at night time, and I definitely feel a lot more relaxed, a lot more centered, and just ready for bed. It's a really nice way to wind down of an evening. So I will pop all the details in the description, but again, you can pop over to my last vlog and have a little watch and see what you think about that, and see if that is something that you could potentially put into your routines, or if it's something you want to have a look at. So highly recommend that tea. Another way I've been making sure that I stay grounded, that I feel in a good headspace, is I've been doing a lot more walking. So walking for me has always been that thing that's been consistent throughout my whole life, and it's something that I really enjoy. I love walking. As a child, I hated it. I hated exercise. Apart from dancing, I just hated it. If someone was to say, let's go for a 6-mile walk, I would literally look at them and be like, okay, you go and tell me how it was. But now, as I've got older, I've realised how much I need to walk. And sometimes I even go for a walk, not even for an exercise point of view, but for a mental point of view. The combination of fresh air, hearing the birds, the trees, the smells, everything just makes me feel amazing. And a few weeks ago, so long story short, I haven't had any wellies for years. I've never been able to find the right pair of wellies that would fit on my legs. And at the beginning of this year, I was like, I'm going to buy wellies. I'm going to find some wellies. I'm going to find the right pair, and I'm going to go for big muddy walks in the woods. Because throughout winter, I couldn't go to the woods for walks because I couldn't get there because of the amount of mud. So I was like, sod it, let's go, let's get some wellies. Bought some wellies, and it's just changed my life. It's changed my life to the point where the first walk that I could go into the woods after however many months, I cried a little bit. I don't know if this is normal. Please tell me. But I got so overwhelmed at being in amongst the trees, being alone. I cried. And I'm not ashamed of it, because obviously I'm telling everyone. I just absolutely loved it. So I've realised that no matter, what happens, I need to at least try and get out every day for some exercise. Obviously, if it's absolutely pelting it down with rain, that's not happening, or I've hurt my leg or something, I can't. But I at least have to try and get out every day. So yeah, walking has been a huge thing for me. So another amazing thing I found mainly last year, and I'm bringing into 2021, is reading. And reading for me is it's just escapism. It's pure escapism. You can get yourself away for a couple of hours, away from this pandemic, away from work, life stress, and be totally absorbed in a whole new story, a whole new subject. And I've really enjoyed it. And I've also noticed my vocabulary has extended. So I'm coming out with words that I have to sometimes Google it, or Google it and think, what does that word mean? I have no idea. But that's fantastic, because now I'm finding new words for lyrics and all sorts of stuff. So reading has been a huge thing, and I set myself a challenge last year to read 20 books in 2020, and I smashed it. I did 22. This year I've set myself a goal of 30. might be overstretching it, but we are still in the middle of a pandemic and I'm still really enjoying it. So I've read one so far. I'm nearly finished a second one. So then I'll be on my third one. So I think I'm well on my way to doing the 30. But yeah, reading has been such a huge thing for me last year and this year. Another thing I found really helpful if I just want to do something other than reading or getting away from the screen is colouring. Colouring is such a... I mean, come on, as a kid, everyone loved to colour, right? It was one of those things that your mum's like, oh, just go do some colouring for a couple of minutes, basically just to get out of her way. But I loved it. I really loved it. But the thing I've had to let go of is that because I am a perfectionist, you know, if I go out the lines, I'd be like, oh no, what's happened? But I've realised that, hey, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be hung in a art gallery or anything like that. So hey, it doesn't really matter. And it's so good from a mindful point of view because I don't really think about an awful lot other than the colours I'm colouring with or the next bit I'm going to colour. So from a mental health point of view, it's fantastic. So I would definitely get yourself a colouring book. And hey, there are some really funny colouring books around. So if you want something that's a bit funny or a bit maybe, I don't know, out there will be a colouring book for you. I promise you, there will be. So definitely look into that. Another thing I have found myself doing more of, which at first I was very guilty about, but I am not, is Netflix and television. And to be honest, as a child, I watched TV quite a lot. I was an only child. I mean, I still am an only child, as far as I know. And I love TV, you know, and I didn't think it kind of hindered my upbringing or my, you know, my knowledge or anything like that. I got into acting and stuff because of television, because of watching my favourite actors and actresses and movies and that sort of stuff. And I kind of didn't really have much time to watch a lot of movies and Netflix a couple of years ago when I was crazy busy with bands and rehearsals and all this stuff. So to actually have had a year and coming into this year of being able to sit and watch some of my favourite series that I've wanted to watch, some of those films that I keep meaning to watch, it's been great to actually have that time to sit and do that. So we have binged so many series at the moment, so many, and I don't feel guilty. I kind of feel like a part of a community, you know, and it's something else to talk about. People on Twitter like, oh, have you watched this? Have you watched this? You can get involved in those conversations because you've finally been able to watch those Netflix series. And Disney Plus as well, you know, just reliving childhood memories, watching all of those favourite Disney films has been just so uplifting and so lovely. And some of those films bring back wonderful memories, and we need that positivity right now. We need things that are going to keep us uplifted and keep us in a good headspace. So yeah, I highly recommend getting on the sofa, getting your Netflix fix, and yeah, enjoying that for sure. Another thing I have recently started to do is meditating. So I know this word comes with a lot of questions. How do you meditate? What is meditating? What are the benefits? I can't do it. Yada, yada, yada. Meditating is anything that will just bring you out of what you're doing and put you into a better mindful place. So you don't necessarily have to sit cross-legged on the floor in the middle of the forest. To do this, you can listen to music for 10 minutes. You can sit in silence for 10 minutes. You can sit in the bath for however long you want. Just something to take you away from what you're doing and get you grounded and just being in the moment, being present. So Headspace, I used to have the app, but unfortunately I can't quite afford to resubscribe for it this year. But because they're amazing, they have a playlist on Spotify, and it's all about meditation. It's how to do it, how to sit, and they even have a 5-minute guided meditation, a 10-minute guided meditation, and they also have a 10-minute unguided meditation. So they basically just ring a bell when you're done. So they are really good starting points if you want to start getting into meditation. Definitely check them out on Spotify. I don't know if they're on Deezer or Tidal, you'd have to check those out, but definitely do look into that because it just makes you feel really good. And don't beat yourself up if you're sat there thinking about stuff. It's okay. You know, it's all part of the journey with meditation. It doesn't happen overnight, but I would definitely recommend it and stick with it. Stick with it. Once you start, stick with it. And another thing, I've been listening to more music. I mean, you know, yeah, I know. How is that even possible? I listen to a lot of music anyway, but I have, you know, I listen to it before I go to bed, listen to it throughout the day, and it's just been making me feel great. And again, I've been listening to a lot of stuff I used to listen to growing up because it makes me feel good, which is what we want. We need feel good stuff at the moment. So yeah, they're just some of the things that I found different, slightly different ways of working with my anxiety and homesickness coming into 2021. And I feel good. And you know, I felt guilty about feeling good. I woke up this morning, I was like, God, I'm in such a good mood, I feel really great. But we shouldn't feel guilty about that. Life is about feeling good. And even in the middle of a pandemic, if you can find something that'll make you feel good, do it within reason, and please be safe. So yeah, I hope you enjoy those little tips. Do drop me a comment and let me know if there's some things that you found this year that you found yourself doing which has helped get you into a better headspace. And please take care of yourselves, and I will be back soon with another episode of Becky's Bants Tea and Talk. Take care, guys. Bye bye.